In this tutorial, you're going to create a montage that incorporates a number of different elements. The elements are your choice. In this example, I used the stairway, my daughter as the model, texture, a checkered board, clouds, birds, and a gradient from blue to clear. So the first thing is to gather resources. I did a little photo shoot of my daughter on the stairs, and as you could tell here, there are just, I took a bunch of them, which the more you have, the better off the more options you have. Gather your resources, and I also included some other pictures I took, and these two on the left, the birds and the clouds, are not pictures that I took. So I grabbed them off the internet, and I usually don't do that, but I'm kind of limited right now. So what you're going to do is, once you gather your resources, you're just going to take your idea and go with it. So for an example, this is the original image that I collaged together from two, the picture of my daughter and the stairs. So here are the stairs, and as you could tell, I don't have vertical lines, like it gets pinched in. So I went to the crop perspective tool, I made a selection, and then what you're going to do is to straighten stuff out, and I know I went over this in class, you find the vertical lines and you just kind of go with it. So now, as you could tell here, there's no information. So what you're going to have to do is use the stamp tool, clone stamp tool, Alt to activate, click to designate, line it up, and then you just start copying. And I actually got rid of the light switch because it was a distraction. Same thing down here, Alt to activate, click to designate, line it up, and so on. Okay. And then what I did was I took a picture of Casey in the same spot, so it was easier for me to layer mask this out. So here's an example. So what I could do is I could take this image, drag it over, copy paste to the other image, and just layer mask what I don't want. And that's kind of what I did here. That's exactly what I did here. So make sure you have the background image, the stage that you want, and then start putting your elements into it. Here's an example. I took a bunch of examples, and I just wanted to see where it was going. I wanted a working document, working images. As you could tell here, that was cropped, and then I squished it a little, or exaggerated it a little. And then once you have your stage in place and then the elements in it, then start adding your elements. So here I put the clouds behind the railing. I didn't want it over. I wanted it to show a little bit more depth. And I did two layers. I Control J'd it, and then I did an overlay, and then I actually took the opacity down. On the bottom here, I just put a checkered board compared to the wood. And then I started adding a few birds. And then it just got too much, so I didn't do a lot of birds. And then after that, I then added a texture overlay with, I had a parchment example. And then I duplicated it, and I played around with multiply for a blend mode. So here is the end result of creating a collage with multiple elements that I think hopefully make it interesting to look at. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me.